Hey folks, I'm Bobo the Vulture, and this is Let's Play Gran Turismo, the Real Driving Simulator. And I think again, as happened last time, I ended up having some spare time where I couldn't do too much. Race and race and race and race and race. Yeah, I could race my car around a bunch, but I couldn't really record. It was too late. I didn't really want to be recording because I was kind of tired. You know, put on a good Let's Play performance when that happens. Anyways, yeah, so I got like $200,000 again now. I did this by alternating back and forth between the two tournaments that we've already won. Again, I don't want to hop ahead to anything that you guys haven't seen. One thing did happen, though. In the Sunday Cup, you always get a Mazda Demio as a prize car. However, in the front-wheel drive tournament, you get two different types of cars. You can get a CRX like the one that you saw from the first time that I won the tournament, or you can get a Celica SS2, or SS, yeah, it's a Roman numeral too. Can't get any information about it. That was, I believe that was the last iteration. No, they sold one iteration of Celica after this before they dropped the line in the US. I don't know if they still sell anything called a Celica anywhere else in the world. Or Celica, depending on where you are. I've heard folks in Europe call it the Celica. I've generally heard it called the Celica in the US, but it don't much matter one way or t'other. Now, weighs how much? 2,689 pounds. This weighs 2,138. I want to get into this car. I want to try something. Because there's a tournament that I want to take on. Seems like it'd be a good special event to take on. The lightweight tournament. A fierce battle with lightweight cars. Can I enter with this car? No, apparently not. Only lightweight vehicles can compete in this event. Which I thought that the CRX was. 2,138 pounds. Okay, so that's too heavy. I do know of another car that can compete in it, which is... It's a lightweight car, but it was never designed as like the light sort of city car, which is what you think of when they say a lightweight car. It is the delightful Mazda Unos Roadster. What is this thing? Ah, that's an entirely different car. Unos Cosmo? Info, please. Unos Cosmo. Oh, it's Mazda's premier specialty coupe. Yeah, this is a car that didn't really sell in America either. Was sort of a luxury performance coupe with a rotary engine in it. The only rotary engine cars that we ever ended up getting from Mazda in the US were the RX-7s, and then later the RX-8. The first car with a rotary engine that I recall having been sold in the US was something called the NSU R080 or something like that. Came from, I think it was Germany, but they didn't last very long time. By which I mean the rotor tips wore out, and the company went out of business trying to replace all of them under warranty. 2160, 2182, 160, 118. So they basically are all the same car with the same engine, it's just that some of them have different prices. I wonder why they aren't arranged by price, now that I notice that. Doesn't matter though, I'm gonna pick up this one, it's the cheapest of them. Less than 10 grand. Pretty sure it counts as a lightweight car. For no reason. And you know what? Let me find a place to take it out, just to sort of give it a little spin. Spot race. No license required. Try these races out for fun and to learn. On a Mini? Race for beginners on an ultra course. Can I get any money out of this, or is it just a race? I guess it's just a race. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I won't complain too much about the fact that you guys are ruining my chances of earning money. But I'm not going to bother qualifying since it doesn't even seem like this race is going to earn me money. Why should I bother trying my hardest if there's no financial incentive? What do you think? I enjoy this? Oh, right. Let's go ahead and start the race. Yes, with a manual transmission. Now you want manual! Oh man, manual! See, it is a little car. I mean, it's not much bigger than a Demio. It's shorter than it's smaller than a Demio. And it doesn't actually have a whole lot of pickup. The thing that it does have is rear-wheel drive handling. See, I can power slide it like that. Hey, get off me. If Smash were here, she would say, "Get off my nuts, yo." 'Cause that's her thing. That was not a phrase that I had heard very much previous to those Let's Plays, if I am honest. Not heard the phrase, "get off my nuts." I don't even know that it's that common a phrase. But you can see, it's a nice enough car. It's just very slow. It's pleasant to drive around. I have to say that the experience of hustling it through the corners here is quite enjoyable. I really do need to downshift here, though. Get a little bit more mustard out of this thing. See, you can just, it's manageable. Honestly, learning how to drive a rear-wheel drive car, because they are more prone to spinning out than a front-wheel drive car. That is why every time you see, drifting, either in person or on the TV. So I hope that didn't make too much noise. Anytime you see drifting on the TV or YouTube videos of somebody cutting donuts, they're usually in a rear-wheel drive car. That is because, the wheels that are actually spinning, attempting to, propel the car forward, are the ones in back. So the car is being pushed, and the actual wheels that turn, of course, when you turn your steering wheel, up front. Which means that since those aren't in the same place, that they can get, discombobulated from one another, and, that will cause your car to spin around. Can't really do that as much in front-wheel drive car, because if you stomp on the gas and turn the wheel on a front-wheel drive car, pretty much the wheels that are turned are going to just start propelling in the direction that they were turned. Anyways, trust me, folks, it all makes perfect sense. Anyhow, we saw... Wait, no, I don't want hard tires. I want soft tires. Super soft racing slicks. I will buy them. I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff for this car. Pretty much just gonna buy the whole house for it. And you will see it was a car that cost us, what, less than $10,000? It is definitely going to cost us more than $10,000 in upgrades. Probably will cost me more than $10,000 just upgrading the brakes. Haha! Who was right? This guy was right. So again, this is not necessarily going to make us massive amounts of money. So, you can get 181 horsepower out of NA tuning. You can't do both NA tuning and turbocharging. Some cars you can do one or the other. So it is always good to check. I can't increase the displacement. It's too bad, it's a tiny little car. 3 horsepower for $10,000. This is really about just getting everything. It's a very small improvement, I know. Can't get an air cooler if you don't have a turbocharger yet. See, 194 horsepower just out of a stage 1 turbocharger. That's more than the other wasn't going to give us. Can't get a stage 4 turbo. Can't get a stage 3 turbo. Can't get a stage 2 turbo. 194. 194. Okay. What were we gonna get out of NA2? 191. Granted, it was going to do it. Let's see, $10,000? Does this really matter that much? 12,500. You know what? I'm gonna go with the NA tuning. I usually don't, but I'll do it this time. 191. But yes, I'm going to just continue throwing money at this car until we have it completely maxed out, so to speak. Every little bit and piece. I'm pretty sure you can get a carbon drive shaft for this car because there's actually a drive shaft in this car. Because the drive has to go back to the rear wheels. You don't get drive shafts in front-wheel drive cars, I guess. Is the take-home point there. Wait, I haven't given it a racing suspension yet. That is important. Wait, no, not a sport suspension. We're not going sporting, we're going racing! Man, hope I have enough money for everything in the end. Alright, I don't know anything about stabilizers. So I leave them off the car, probably a bad choice. Then, $80,000 later, do we want a red or a blue Miata? I think we want a blue one. I want a blue one, you're gonna have to deal with it. Now then, everything has been done to this car. Now what would happen, having done that, if I took it to that same spot race? It shouldn't take too long, right? I mean, even before it didn't take that long. This is just so you can see the difference that tuning up a car can make. Even for this one, which, I mean, granted, pretty much most of the cars, the investment of money that you'll make will generally be pretty similar. Even for, like, the cheapest car, you'll end up spending, like, you know, more than 100 grand if you decide you want to get every last bit and piece. Oh, wait a minute, entry list. Hey, we are the most powerful car here. Let's end qualifying. Let's skip qualifying. Let's end it and skip it and end it. And skip, skip, and skip. Start race, manual. Here we go, manual, here we go. Oh, for one, we look way cool with our racing gear here, right? Huh. Oh, I keep on braking because I think that I'm going to have to slow down in order to make turns, and I guess I don't. Now you can see on the map below how I am faring compared to everybody else. I was once again fooled into thinking that I was going to need to slow down. I know, I'm a bit silly. Actually wasn't that much faster, at least on this course. Okay, so maybe I was like 2-3 seconds faster. For a short course, that's a fair gap of time. And I did reach new records for the circuit. So, awesome. And I still have some small amount of money left. But yeah. I think I'm In this LP, one of the nice things about this game is there are lots of cars that you can choose from for horses for courses, basically. This car I could attempt to enter in the front engine rear-wheel drive tournament, or the lightweight tournament, or any of these Japan versus another country thingies, but I think in a lot of those it might not fare that well, because I mean you saw, even with all of the updates that we did to it, it still doesn't have that much horsepower. Like, still has less than 200 horsepower, even after all of the extra work and beefing up that we did to it. So, it seems unfortunate. Autumn Ring Mini in reverse. I'm going to head and do the qualifying, both because it earns you money, and again, I'm still learning this car. I actually, in racing around yesterday, got much better at driving around in my Prelude. I feel like after I did all of the racing adjustments in that Prelude, sure, I was faster, but I looked goofy going around the course. Wow, nicely done, Bobo. Now, either this course is faster going backwards, or I have much improved my driving here, I think. Either way, I'm on pole position, I can tell by the theme music. Yeah! Holy nuts! I am on pole position by that much. Way-o, way-o. I'll take it. Let's start the race. But no, in this game, if, you know, for some reason you're planning on going back and playing this game, it also, you know, applies true if you're going to play any of these sort of, like, sim racing games and you haven't done it before. It really does pay off for you to, at some point in time, get a fairly low-powered rear-wheel drive car and just sort of learn what rear-wheel drive cars drive like, because eventually you're gonna need a high-powered rear-wheel drive car. And if you go straight to it from nothing, oh crud, that's a terrible line. Those guys are all gonna catch up with me. No. But eventually you're going to need to learn how to do it, and you try and learn how to drive a rear-wheel drive car on and a really high-powered one, you're just going to spend all your time spinning out and basically barely being able to keep a handle on it. And that's not the fastest way to get around. Hanging on for dear life, usually not the best way. I mean, I should say, hanging on to the ragged edge, the envelope, the performance of the car, that's all cool and everything, but you will have the appearance of hanging on to the ragged edge for dear life, when it's really just your own personal ragged edge that you are on, because you don't know what you're doing, driving the thing. Say this like I'm some super wise guru of car racing. I mean, I watch a lot of car races, but I am just a, you know, moderately experienced person on these car driving racing-y games. Clubman Stage R5. I'm gonna go ahead and do the qualifying anyway. I know, folks. You're like, come on, Bobo. We don't need to see this qualifying. You do, and you will. Besides, now you get to see my car's pop-up headlamps. They're all like, hi! How's it going? The cheerful attitude of this Miata even makes the whiny Far From God song seem pleasant and playful. That didn't go as well as it could have. Got a little bit behind at my steering. There we go. Hopefully this will still be good for a good qualifying position. It switched the music in a weird way. Seems to be a bug or something that's going on here. That was not a very good qualifying after all. Man. I'm actually kind of curious about something here. Yeah, I actually have one of the least powerful cars in this race. Only the Demio has less power. Granted, my car is the lightest, but that might explain why, you know, things could be going better. Wait, no, I'm not going to exit championship. I'm going to start the race. Yay! Clubman. Clugman. Okay. Pow. Pow again. 3 times pow. That wasn't the best line through there, but I appear to have gotten the job of getting to first place done, so I will accept it. I'll buy that for $1. Oh man, they're all right on my tail. I see him back there, flashing his headlights. So, as we continue to zip along, honestly, I don't know if it comes across here, but this is a cheerful and joyful little car to drive around. And I'm sure some of that is like, oh yes, it seems cheerful and joyful to drive around because look at it, it's so cutesy. No, you don't. Stay back there. Get thee behind. Civic. Okay. So, 9. Great. I got 18 points in the championship. That's good. More records fall by the wayside. Next session. Next slide, please. Next slide. Deep forest, huh? Alright. Actually, the Mazda Miata, particularly this iteration of the Mazda Miata, but the one that follows, I believe, as well in some categories, but has a huge following among amateur and, I guess, sort of like lower-level professional racers. There's something in... there are two major amateur racing sanctioning bodies in the United States, the Sports Car Club of America, the SCCA, and the National Autosport Association, or NASA. I probably didn't actually need to break so much there. But both of them have a category called Spec Miata Racing, where the only car that is eligible is the Mazda Miata, and basically it's a category in which there are basically minimal upgrades that you can do to the car. Basically, you just take all the, you got the interior, take all the seats and stuff out. Put in a roll cage. It's and then there are, you know, like a couple of standardized suspension pieces that you buy directly from Mazda that you can use. But basically the idea is that it's a very level playing field because all these Miatas are pretty much the same, and the amount of upgrades that you can do to them is very standardized. And it's a relatively cheap way. I mean, there is no cheap way to go car racing. The cheapest that you will get is autocross. More on the subject of autocross in another video, I think. That's the cheapest way that you'll go, like, roads. One of the cheapest ways you'll go, like, road circuity sort of racing. And so races for that kind of a category tend to generate like really huge fields. Like, there have been races where you get like 60 spec Miatas all out there jockeying for position with one another. Oh, that was bad. Is that all about their Civic? And is that full of some description? Look, you guys are gonna... Oh, see, there's the issue of the rear-wheel drive car. Oh, no. Front-wheel drive car would have understeered and just sort of pulled in the direction that I had been already going. This car was attempting to spin. Oh, man. That did not leave me in good stead. I have a mountain to climb in this final lap. A mountain of 4 cars. 4 cars would be a large amount of something to climb. Well, that wasn't the fastest way to go through there, but it was a way that got me around that other guy. Whoa, what are you guys trying to pull on me here? Stop what you're doing! You guys are running me off the road. As an insane guitar solo begins. And yes, I understand that almost certainly I am the person who has breached racing etiquette at some point here during this racing encounter. That's okay. Haha! Duck underneath both of them in the final turn. If these were real cars, they all would have been smashed to bits. Thank you for the boost across the finish line to completely ruin your chances of winning this championship. Well, you weren't going to win the championship anyways if I finished second or third or whatever. I think this is only 3 races. Suppose if it's not, you know what? There was some actual excitement in that race. Maybe we should watch the replay. Besides, to give you a chance to look at some of these more awesome camera views that you get in this, game. And it will give us a chance to hear this awesome techno music about sliders. Yes, Arturo is awesome. I suppose some of you might think this is techno about StarCraft, and that they're asking, wait, what was that guy Mengsk's first name? Arcturus? Okay. And I got a little fence texture over there. That's pretty cool. PlayStation 1 was a... Jeez, I mean, you know, like, looking back at it now... Oh, okay, so that's where everything went wrong to begin with. Caused everyone else to sort of pile up here. Let's check something here. Oh, yeah! In this game, I can tune into the point of view of all the other drivers. From their point of view, I was being crazy. Wait, I have to get back to myself. Where's my car? Oh, there I am. Can I change camera views? Oh, I can add... Okay. I can add the telemetry of what I was doing. They have all the little corporate sponsories lined up all over the place. I guess that was something that was starting to pop up even in the 16-bit era. Depending on what you were looking at, you might have... you know, there would be a little fake corporate sponsor dressed up on something. Some of them, they were actually real sponsors. I don't know if they were paying money to be in the games or what, but, oh yeah, that was really deft looking until all of a sudden. Now, of course, the issue there is, pretty sure that in this game, you can't really flip a car, like, which is why I'm pretty sure that at some point in time with some of the maneuvers that I did, had this been a real car and real car situation, the car would have rolled. Not so much here. I am back up against the bitter rivals in this race, that one Civic and that one red car, which I think is a Corolla of some sort. It's not the coupe of a kind that we ever got here in the US, I'll tell you that much. Yeah! Accelerate to the finish! A friend of mine actually has a Civic like that one that finished in second, although his is a coupe, it is not the hatchback version. Come to think of it, I have another friend who has the sedan of that same car. Yay, 44,000 credits. We only lost a huge amount of money. I have a 10,000. That's pretty cool. And we're the series champion, and we have a new car. We should check the garage right now. It's like Christmas morning. It kind of is. I don't remember what the prize cars for this event were. So yeah, let's go see. What do we get? A Civic. Psst, psst. Racer. It's a pretty nice car. I wonder if that's eligible for that tournament. I think it is. Of course, the only other races it would be at all viable for would be the front engine, front wheel drive championship, for which we already have our Prelude. I do this, like, I'll try and, eventually I get to the point where I want to collect every car that is ever, like, made that you can possibly get in the game. They prevent you from doing that by capping the number of cars you can have in total. I forget what the number is, whether it's like 50 or something like that. I think it changes depending on which game you are. In Gran Turismo 2, I think you can have more than that, and so on. But, at least early on in the game, and I may try and sort of go by this philosophy for purposes of this LP, because otherwise it will go on forever, I like having the cars that I have in my garage usually have some sort of purpose. There is a tournament or a type of race that they're supposed to be specifically for competing in. Like this Prelude. Now we can use that to run the FF Cup. This Unos Roadster, this Miata, we can use this for racing in the Lightweight Cup. These other cars that we have thus far do not have another sort of thing that they can... I mean, they can all do one or more of those same things. Like the CRX, the Celica, they can go in the FF tournament. So could the Demio and the Civic, but they could also go in the Lightweight Cup. Either way, I'm rambling. I should save all this good rambling thinking for my next video, huh? What do you say, guys? Anyhow, folks, this is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Gran Turismo. When we come back next time, I got 54 grand. That's not that much money to go off and try and do anything new and improved. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. Thanks very much for watching, though, and I'll tell you what, I'll see you next time. Bye now.